even at my most dead moments, I could feel the universe trying to birth something through me. Hello cutie, and if you are new here, then hi, I'm Shavion, and we're just gonna dive right in. Using words to explain what God or the universe is feels a little insulting to me because I know God is something I simply can't comprehend. But I like to think of life as an orchestra where God is the conductor, life is the song, and we all have our own instrument to play. Honestly, since I was a kid, I've always been pretty tapped into the metaphysical, and I swear the craziest synchronicities happened to me. Like, I remember one time I was in the car with my friend riding with the sunroof open, and I'm like, hey, I'm cold. Before either of us can even touch the button, y'all, the sunroof closes. Like, stuff like that doesn't even scare me anymore. I just say thank you. But anyways, I was raised Christian and hid my love for Buddhism as a kid, and then I grew up and was disillusioned. So I studied and practiced African traditional spirituality instead for a bit. And for the past 2 years, I've been what's considered a free-flowing spiritualist, where I do what feels right for me. Now, I consider myself a pretty good manifester, which feels odd as someone that comes from food stamps and Section 8, but everything I've accomplished so far has been rooted in cycle breaking. So having my own apartment, car, and steady good income at my age feels like I've made it somehow. And now there's this freaking YouTube channel I have with 12,000 cuties that I've literally been manifesting for years, y'all, which, to be fair, 12K may not sound like anything, but I know the work that God has called me to, and I know that work includes me getting a YouTube plaque, you know, the one you get for hitting 100,000 subs. Now, even though that dream has always been there, it's really taken me forever to develop this belief in myself that I'm not an imposter and I am capable of growing a successful YouTube channel. And I'll talk about that journey a bit more later in the video. But I feel like we have all of these gurus that try to sell us this dream that a course will help us to release our blockages, when in reality, the only thing that's gonna clear our path is that teaming up and co-creation between you and God. We all have something to give, and when you live in that giving, your manifestations will pour in naturally because it is divinely orchestrated. Like, come on, divine alignment, come on. But we get so caught up in trying to adhere to all of these rules of religion and spirituality from man that we forget to listen for that direct voice of guidance from God. You have to know that God is loud about you and the work that you have come here to do. I feel like anyone who knows, like, when there is something on your heart and that you just feel called to do, bro, that shit does not shut up. No matter how many years goes by, no matter how irrational the dream may be. I feel like God makes it very clear to us when we are ignoring the things that we want to manifest because of fear or whatever limiting beliefs that we may have. So I don't know. I just think it's important to remember that if you are hearing silence and you aren't feeling any type of guidance and you aren't really feeling pulled to anything, one, you may be in a resting period, and two, it's maybe just a good sign to really tune into yourself to see if the distractions of the world have pulled you so far from yourself that you can't even connect with the God that is within all of us. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, I personally have like a deep fear of not feeling the magic of life. I don't know. I feel like I get jaded pretty easily without that extraordinary feeling of God and like just like really basking in my existence. So a prayer that I want to share with you all that I try to say pretty often is, thank you, God, for leading me through yesterday and for guiding me now. May it be clear to me what needs to be done at this moment. I trust you. I know you. I allow it to be. Thank you for guiding me with such grace. Amen. Ashe. Yeah.
It is important to draw wisdom from many different places. If we take it from only one place, it becomes rigid and stale. Understanding others, the other elements, and the other nations will help you become whole.
Not only are we a species with amnesia, we are a species without sacred history. And that's why we feel that we have to be religious in order to have that sacred relationship with God. But you don't have to be religious to have a relationship with God. And just because you are religious does not mean that you have this sacred relationship with God. And the reason why I even keep bringing up this whole idea of having that divine and sacred relationship is because, listen, God wants to talk you through this crazy thing that is life. Bro, we literally just get shot out of the pussy and we have to live and exist. This shit is traumatizing. God knows this. He wants to talk you through it. He wants to be there with you every step of the way. He wants to help you to make sense of what cannot be understood through logic. Bro, life and existence is so expansive, and you have these religions and these structures that I honestly feels like it just completely breaks it down and takes away the magic of what all of this actually is. Like, I don't know. And I mean, I do understand that a lot of these practices are rooted in control and also like just trying to make sense of something that can't be understood with the logic brain. But that's why you have to take it upon yourself to want to know God directly and know that you have that power to create a direct channel from you to source, to the highest power. I feel like my relationship with God really deepened when I started asking what fears have kept me from my most imaginative dreams. And God talks back. Me personally, I just get an image in my head, or it's like I get taken back to a moment in time when I was a kid, and you know, I just felt limited by the people around me because of the things that were spoken over me. But yeah, bro, like you have that ability to create a direct channel to God. Utilize that power, know your magic, really start just basking in the fact that you are alive and that you exist, bro. Like, how fucking weird is it that we are existing together? I'm talking to you through a screen and it's like it's actually connecting. We are actually connecting in a way, and it's weird. It's weird, bro. There's no way a text is gonna help me to understand this. Like, yes, it gives me some type of structure and form to go off of, but it's just not all encompassing. And y'all have to remember that a lot of libraries and schools of thought have literally been burned to the ground because colonizers did not want natives continuing to practice their traditions. They wanted to dehumanize these people and erase their culture, and this has been going on for so long, since the beginning of time. So just imagine how much has been lost, y'all. Like, just remember that, bro. Like, everything that we read, it's not everything, you know. There is still so much more to know that just simply cannot be translated to words.
I know my own destiny, Uncle.
Is it your own destiny? Or is it a destiny someone else has tried to force on you?
Stop it, Uncle. I have to do this.
I'm begging you, Prince Zuko. It's time for you to look inward and begin asking yourself the big questions. Who are you? And what do you want?
For me, I knew it was time to create that direct connection with God when I really felt empty, but there was still this urge to create and manifest this dream life. I don't know, it was like even at my most dead moments, I could feel the universe trying to birth something through me. Even when I'm willing to throw away my life, like the universe is like, no, like I actually have some shit planned for you, like chill your ass out. Like, my small existence is so much bigger than me, and I feel like once you really get into the flow of that, manifestation just becomes very natural. Manifesting looks like moving through the dark, and with each step more wisdom and direction being revealed to you. And sometimes we simply don't need to know or receive something because we have yet to create the foundation to truly nurture a lesson or gift. Like, it's not always this punishment or this karma that's coming to get you. Like, it's just your journey. Like, it's just a part of your journey for things to take time. This has been a big lesson that I've personally been learning, but I feel like we get so impatient with God because we want what we want and we want it now. We really got to get out of this thinking that God is this angry white dude in the clouds and that we are always being punished. Like, this feels like a tough topic to try to like verbalize, but if you leave with anything, I just hope you leave with wanting to create that own relationship for yourself and explore that connection on your own time. The more you sit in the truth, the more you sit in that relationship and be completely honest and, you know, talk to God even when you feel angry. Like, why the fuck did you make me this way? Like, I feel so unworthy. Why would you make me this way if you are calling me to do X, Y, and Z? And those revelations will start to come for you. God will help reveal to you the things that you can't see clearly yourself, about yourself and about the world. You know, when you connect with your shadow and your inner child, it gives you a lot of insight on yourself, but God gives you the insight on how those parts of you connects to the person next door, or to that thing down the line, or to things that have happened in the past. I don't know, I feel like God just really gives us that broader perspective, and you don't always have to come at God in this perfect like servant like way where it's like, God, I bow down to you. Like, of course, worship, praise, and honor, but also just be yourself. And it's just like building a relationship with anybody else, except it is with the highest being. Once you really get into that relationship, you will feel how supported you actually are.
Many things that seem threatening in the dark become welcoming when we shine a light on them.
You have to find your own rhythm within the orchestra of life. Like, there's this collective orchestra that's happening that God is leading, but there's also a single instrument that you are playing that God is also leading you through. And for me, this really came apparent through my YouTube channel. Like, y'all, when I tell y'all these videos are so sacred to me now, I genuinely don't know how it all comes together in a way that resonates with y'all so freaking deeply, because I don't feel like I even know enough. I feel like I'm just still stewarding my gifts, and a part of me used to always just be like, I have to wait until I'm 30 to even start to share my mind in the way that I am now. But making these videos, and like, let me know if any creatives or anybody who like is in like their purpose work, if you resonate with this feeling. But it's like, I swear it's put me in this wisdom and enlightenment loop. Like, I don't just wake up and say, hey, I'm gonna talk about this topic. I record. Like, no, I say, I want to talk about this topic. I want to make sense of this myself. Like, God, what is it that you want to speak through me? Like, what is it about this topic that the collective needs to hear? And like, just random little revelations start to come to me throughout the day, and I have to hurry up and write them down in my notes. But when I post these videos, it feels like I'm releasing the weight of those lessons, and I'm just left with the tingly enlightenment of it. I really am so thankful for all of you who tune in every single week or every 12, 14 days when I post. Like, I refuse to cry in this moment. I refuse it. But I truly, genuinely do appreciate this community so much. Like, y'all really don't understand that just a year ago around this time, I felt so unworthy of community. I felt so unworthy of being perceived and being seen. Like, literally this deep ass, like, shameful fear of being seen, or just feeling like I didn't have anything valuable to add or say. As a kid, like, I always just felt this very intense loneliness that I just thought would always be with me. I felt that I would always feel just forgotten. Going into my early 20s and having to sit with all of those beliefs during COVID, I'm telling y'all, I feel like I was genuinely going crazy at some points, but I really took it upon myself to say, no, this is not the reality that I am accepting. This is not the reality that I feel called to. even though I don't understand how I could feel called to build a community when I feel so unworthy of it, I know that I need to do whatever I can to cultivate this thing. So when I tell y'all, I would literally wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning, do my morning routines, and then sit at my altar for like 4-6 hours, y'all, journaling, praying, allowing just like divine intervention and insight to come to me, no matter how long it took. I would literally be sitting there journaling in detail about very traumatic things that has happened to me, writing letters to these people, forgiving myself for hurting me in that moment, for abandoning myself in that moment, and forgiving those people for inflicting that pain upon me. And honestly, learning to be grateful for that pain and that suffering. For without it, I would not be who I am today. For without it, I would not be able to connect with you the same way that I can right now. And I would do this at home at my altar, but also sometimes I would just go to the park and write it out and just cry and really be with the trees. And it just felt so good. And that's when I really started to feel this like divine support start to come in. But there was this huge resistance to receive that support. So then it's like, okay, I got to do more work. I had to create affirmations for myself to remind me that I am safe in this feeling. I am safe in not needing to overcompensate and not always needing to perform and earn love and care and support. But my favorite thing to do, even though I don't practice magic anymore, is literally just sitting with the moon. Like moon bathing, sunbathing, my two favorite things to do, y'all. And honestly, it will require another whole video to go into details about the different techniques that I've used. But yeah, it took a lot of fighting to get here, y'all. Like it took 2 years of consistent work on myself, like every single day. Like I don't even understand how I was that consistent back then. It is so difficult for me to be that consistent now with my spiritual practices and like inquiring into myself. Like I mean, these videos definitely force me to have to do so, but like I don't know, like if y'all would just see how intense, like when I tell y'all I would be sitting and journaling for like 4 or 5 hours a day, I'm not even joking, probably even longer. I'm just so happy I had that level of patience to really know myself. I have already sat with every part of me and I have offered all of those parts up to God to heal and to make sense of. But yeah, that was a mouthful. I do want to highlight that 2 powerful things that I would combine is visualization and scripting. And if you're going to use this technique to manifest, I just think it's important to tap into all 4 systems: emotion, mindset, habits, and environment, when you're going into detail about how you want this new reality to look and feel for you. And then I also just wanted to add that if you're doing all of this work and you just don't feel that support from the universe being reflected outward and you aren't seeing that, you know, support from the people around you, just know that Jesus had to literally go through a very similar period where he literally couldn't teach in his hometown of Nazareth because no one believed in him. But the strength of the relationship that he had with God and what he was called to do was so strong that he still continued to push his teachings out into the world until he found people who did believe, where his magic could be felt. Anyways, let me back up. If you would like a video on like specific techniques, then I would be happy to make that. Just let me know in the comments. But yeah, really wake up to the magic of you in this existence, because you, my friend, are so magical and powerful and amazing and beautiful, and you need to know that. You really need to fucking know that, and you need to believe it. Don't just know it, believe it. Don't just hear it, know it. You are magical. This existence is magical, and it's amazing, and it's beautiful, and it's meant to be explored, and it's meant to be questioned, and it's meant to be fucking... Come on, y'all, let's fuck around and find out together.
Sometimes life is like this dark tunnel. You can't always see the light at the end of the tunnel, but if you just keep moving, you will come to a better place.
In a world that never seems to shut up, be still and listen to what is actually being spoken to you, okay? You are already on your way. But yeah, stay tuned for next week's video for practical tips on starting and growing a YouTube channel. But yeah, that is all I have for y'all today. Share the video with someone you think it may benefit. Also, cuties unite in the chat. Comment an orange emoji if you have made it this far, as well as if you resonated with anything that I spoke on today, or if you have any tips or experiences that have helped you to really cultivate that relationship with God that allows you to manifest more easily. But yeah, were you gonna click off the video without subscribing? Thank you for subscribing. Like the video if you enjoyed, and also check the description if you would like the audio version of this or if you would like to join our Discord. But yes, thank you guys for watching. I love you all so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.
This is not real. It's just a dream.